Welcome to Lost Culture, your one-stop destination for everything pop culture. My name is Aston and welcome to another episode of Lost Movie News. Now, on this episode, we're going to be talking about, the first story of the day is Mission Impossible. So, we got Mission Impossible 6 officially been announced. We actually got a release date planned for it, which is going to be July 27th, 2018. Now, this is no surprise about this movie actually being announced or even being even this date or anything. Obviously, Mission Impossible is going to be a nice summer movie. We know Mission Impossible like 5, actually Mission Impossible 5 Rogue Nation. It actually grossed over $682 million in the box office. So like I said, there's no surprise that this movie is being made. And like, I'm actually kind of glad it's being made because we see it being written and directed by the same writer-director from Rogue One, Christopher McQuarrie. So I'm glad to see he's staying on tech. We definitely know Tom Cruise is going to come back, and obviously the rest of the crew is probably going to come back. This is one of those rare franchises that get better with each installation. So we see. I feel like ever since that Rogue Nation. I forgot the one before Rogue Nation. I forgot the name of it. But Ghost Protocol. Ever since Ghost Protocol, I feel like these movies have been getting better and better and better. The only question is, what's going to be the next insane stunt for Tom Cruise to do? I mean, we got him standing on top of the world's tallest building. We got him strapped to the side of an airplane. What can we do next? I mean, the only next logical step is basically to strap him to a satellite that's in orbit. That's like, that's like the next logical step. But like I said, it's no surprise this film is being made. I think this film is actually, like, this franchise is getting better and better. It kind of reminds me of like the Fast and the Furious. Like ever since Fast and Furious number 4, that franchise has just grown better and better. It just understood what it was with the outstanding, like the. Obviously, like, cars jumping from building to building isn't realistic, but they understood what they are. They got in their lane, and they took it. They just took it for what it was. Like, hey, that's what we're gonna do. And I like to see movies do that. Now, for our second film of our second topic of the day, we're gonna be talking about Now You See Me 3. Yes, you heard me. Now You See Me 3. Nobody's seen this coming. Like, I don't even know why they're making this film, honestly. After number 2, I feel like it lost its track after number 2. Number 1 was okay. Like I said, okay. Number 2 was definitely a misstep. But somehow they still decided to make a number 3. I guess they're trying to. And number 2 didn't even make as much money as number 1 did. I don't remember how much number 2 actually made, but they decided to make a number 3. And we seen they had the writers, Neil Winder and Gavin James. They're both coming back. I mean, they're coming. And if you don't know what they're going, like, they've also been announced for San Andreas 2. So they'll be writing on that film. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to make a San Andreas 2. I don't know what's going to happen next. Or I don't even know how they're going to write this film. Like, they said most of the cast is, or actually all the cast is coming back. So Dave Franco, Mark Ruffalo, the whole group is coming back. And I'm glad to see they're actually keeping, like, the cast together. I'm glad to see the whole cast has decided to come back. It might have been a contractual thing. They might have already signed a contract for a trilogy or something. So they just felt like, hey, let's just bring them all back. But, hey, regardless of air, this is where we're at now. We're getting a Now You See Me 3. Now moving on to positive news, we got our first information from the Batman. Well, not our first, but we got the Batman's primary villain, Deathstroke, Joe Manganiello. If you don't know him, like, he's done films like Magic Mike 1 and 2. He was also in HBO's True Blood. He was like the werewolf, and I honestly love his acting. I think he's perfect for Deathstroke. I don't know what kind of We don't know the full course of how the Batman solo film is going to go. Yes, we heard rumors. Nothing has really been official besides the fact that we know Deathstroke is our main antagonist. But going on over there, he's in an interview. He's talking about how the new Batman movie is going to be real gritty, real action packed, and real cranial. I'm glad to hear this. That's what I like to see. He said this Batman is going to go down a path that we haven't seen any of the other Batmans go, and that is real. It's real true to his origins, which I'm really like. I don't know what he means, like what we haven't seen before, because we already seen the detective side of Batman with the oh my god, I can't believe with like the Dark Knight series. Like we seen the detective side with him. We seen more of like the Batman side with the prior Batmans and everything. And so I'm trying to figure out which Batman we see. He's still going to be pretty vicious, but I feel like they need to cut back on the killing. Because they keep going on down the road of killing with Batman. Well, obviously we know that Deathstroke survives. I can't remember, does Batman come first or does Justice League come? Obviously Justice League come first, but so obviously Batman maybe not being the killer because we know Deathstroke is definitely inside the Justice League film. And if he's going to be in the Justice League film, maybe his part isn't as big as everyone thinks it's going to be. Maybe it might just be like 5-10 minutes, maybe 15 at max. So I don't think he's going to be that big for Deathstroke in Justice League. But what I was saying is, as far as the killing with Batman, they need to get him away from that, because if he keeps killing everything, everyone's going to be like confused why he just isn't killing his bad guys. So he'll just kill everyday villains, but he won't kill bad guys. Like he won't kill the super criminals. That's one thing they're like kind of putting themselves into a corner with, which is why I think they need to fix the issue of the killing that's going on with Batman. So that's my biggest thing about it. Like I said, I'm glad to see Joe Manganiello actually playing Deathstroke. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I've seen him do action. I think he's great in it. Like I said, if you haven't seen like True Blood, that's probably like the best way to see his action scenes. Magic Mike 1 and 2 is not really any action in there. You're gonna see his dancing skills, but not really his action skills. Going on from this, we have another Justice League story. 2 days in a row, Ezra Miller, I don't know what it is with Ezra Miller. He's been talking a lot about not only The Flash, but Justice League also. And basically it's more Batman information. We get him actually explaining what's the relationship between Batman and The Flash. It told us about how these two are actually kind of like fans of each other. When they see each other, they see themselves in each other. Like when when Barry looks at Bruce, he sees like the pinnacle of superheroes. Like every superhero wants to be Batman someday. And that's what he sees in him. And the same thing goes with Bruce. When Bruce looks at Barry, he sees like a nice guy, like he sees himself in him, like he sees him destined for greatness. Now going on from there, he also says even though these two are fans of each other, they do get annoyed at each other at times. Like it's just how it is. Like these two personalities are two completely different. Y'all know that Barry's gonna be more of a jokester, and Batman's gonna be more like hardened, tough, more straight to the point. And obviously, when you have two different personalities, they tend to rub each other the wrong way. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I actually feel like it's actually pretty true to the comics when you think about it, about the Flash and Batman type relationship. And yes, they're always like friends, but they do tend to get annoyed at each other. So, well, Batman more often than Flash tend to get annoyed of each other. Now, going on from there, we got a new poster from Fences. Now, you know what Fences is. Fences is going to be a new film directed by Denzel Washington. It's based off of like a screenwrite of a play. I'm sorry, all films are based off of a screenwrite, but this film is based off of like a play that goes on like a year, and it's changed out a couple actors and everything. But we see, because we know Denzel actually played this role on Broadway, but now he's actually bringing this film, well, this role and this film to the big screen. He has Viola Davis playing opposite of him. She's his wife. She plays his wife in the film. And the first trailer I seen from this, like I never really seen this this film, but my mom has seen it. She's seen the play. She enjoyed the play, and she's the one who actually told me about, who was like most excited about this film. So I actually learned about this film from my mom. Now, going on to the poster, I wasn't the biggest fan of the poster. It's really just like two floating heads. I love the way they aged up Denzel though. They made him look a lot older. And I was a really big fan of that aspect of the poster. But as far as the poster, you don't really get anything from it about the movie. Like I said, you get a fence post and you see Denzel and Viola Davis. That's all you see. You don't get anything about the story from this. But like I said, the trailer is amazing. I think Denzel is doing a great job. I'm one of the biggest Denzel fans. I love his work. Now, going on from there, we're starting to get a lot of the early reviews are starting to come out. A lot of awards talk about this film is coming out. So, if you're big into like Oscar things like that, this is going to be those films that you want to check out. It's not going to be one of your big budget films. It's not going to be on the. It comes out on Christmas, so it's kind of going against like Rogue One and everything. Like I said, this is not going to be one of your big films that everyone's going to be talking about. It'll be one of your smaller films that you go and check out, mainly because it's Oscar bait. And like I said, I saw the first trailer of it. I was blown away by this first trailer. It's kind of like Denzel talking to his son, just giving him like some life advice, telling him like I may not like you, but I love you. I've done everything. I've done right by you because I'm supposed to. I'm your father. I should provide it for this household. And I love seeing that, how you just talking to his son, letting his son know, like, my boss doesn't pay me because he likes me. My boss pays me because he owes me. And I like seeing that type of, like seeing that, and that life lessons is being broke down from a father to a son. It was a great trailer. I think everyone should go check this film out. I don't have too much more to say about that. Now, going on to more, like I said, I mentioned this last time, more Instagram information. So, going on from this one, we got the new Wolverine 3 Logan film. They actually released a couple new pics of the film on their Instagram account titled Weapon X. So it's not spelled like the regular Weapon X, it's spelled WPONX. And that's what you want to find on Instagram. Now, this pic was amazing. We get to see Logan over, I'm assuming, a dead body. We see him with his claws out. We see like he's in a front yard under a tree with the moonlight shining through. This pic was amazing. It's a black and white pic. We don't get much from it, but just the image alone is amazing. It's enough to sell me a ticket, honestly. Like, I can't wait for this film to come out. I'm definitely going to be there on release night. I know I say that about a lot of movies, definitely comic book movies, but this film, I'm already like a big Hugh Jackman fan, a Wolverine fan, and an X-Men fan, so like this makes me like want to be there on so many different levels. And I'm glad, like I'm happy that they released this film and they come out with these new marketing ways to market films. They understand that social media is actually the new wave to go on, to get your information out there, to get directly to your consumers. And because the only people following your account are normally your consumers, the people who you want to be in contact with. And that's a great thing about Instagram or all these other social media accounts. It gives you a way to get from where you are directly to your consumer. And hey, I'm glad the way they're doing that. Now, our next topic is going to be Doctor Strange. Yes, it's not an announcement of Doctor Strange 2 or anything. Just a couple little things. The director, Scott Derrickson, was actually talking. We see he gave us a little information that the original villain was not always going to be Dormammu and Caecilius. It actually was going to be Nightmare. And they decided not to go with Nightmare due to it being too much exposition. Now, the film we seen had a lot of exposition in it. They said the reason they didn't go with Nightmare because it would have been even more exposition, especially with the Nightmare realm and everything that goes in with Nightmare. It would have been a lot harder for them to get this movie to sell than how hard it was just to get it to sell with Dormammu. Now, do I think this was a good idea? Yes, I do. Because like I said, Doctor Strange was already a risky movie. This might have been the riskiest movie they've done up to date. Yes, it turned out as a success, but maybe if they went with Nightmare, it wouldn't have been a success because it was too much going on. I mean, like they said, it would have been even more exposition than there already was. And yes, this film is a lot shorter than most Marvel movies, so maybe they could have made up with it just off made up the time with it just being being a little bit longer. But then I think it might have ran into one of those Spider-Man 3 problems where it was just way too much exposition, way too much going on. And like I said, there's a lot of other reasons that Spider-Man 3 failed, but I feel like the exposition part was way too much. But that's really all we have from that one. Like I said, I'm glad to see they actually went with Dormammu. I'm glad they're giving us more information like behind the scenes of what happened with Doctor Strange. And it was great to hear like Scott Derrickson actually coming out and let us know things like this. Now, maybe next movie, maybe Doctor Strange 2, we actually can get Nightmare, because we already dipped into all the realms, so they explained the realms a little bit, the multiverse. It's not too much of a fact, not too much of a stretch now for them to go into the Nightmare realm and everything. We already seen the astral plane. There's so many ways now that they can go with the new Doctor Strange. We already know Mordo is probably going to be a bad guy. I don't want them to push Mordo to the back, but to see Nightmare, I think it would kind of be a little bit worth it. Maybe they could have two, or maybe have Nightmare play a little smaller, or have have Mordo play like in the back, while Nightmare is more of the main antagonist. That'd be a great way for them to go. Now, going on from there, we have more Fantastic Beasts news. Now, Fantastic Beasts hasn't even hit theaters yet. Scheduled to hit November 18th. Like I said, I'm going to be there. We know Johnny Depp has a little cameo in this first one, and we finally know who he's going to be. A lot of people was guessing like maybe he's going to be Dumbledore. Is he going to be Grindelwald? Well, now we know he is going to be Grindelwald. I'm actually happy about this. I'm actually excited that he's not playing Dumbledore, because I feel like he might have actually overacted when he had the Dumbledore. I think Grindelwald was a better fit for him. We can get to see him play against a young Dumbledore. Because if you don't know who Grindelwald is like a childhood friend of Dumbledore. He helped him come up with kind of his theories and everything. But Grindelwald ended up being like the first Voldemort. He ended up being like a dark wizard, I think they call it, or I don't know if they're called dark wizards at all, but he definitely ended up being a bad wizard who kind of started like his own little thing before Voldemort came. So we definitely know that Dumbledore is going to be inside. We're going to be in Fantastic Beasts 2. He's going to have a couple scenes with Newt Scamander. We've already heard that. That's already been confirmed by the director. We just don't know who they've cast as Dumbledore yet. Now that probably be coming down the chute. Like we already know who Grindelwald is. And so probably like sometime next week we will find out who Dumbledore. They might even actually save it for a couple months. Maybe a couple months before the movie actually come out. Maybe like 6 months before the movie come out, we'll actually find out who Dumbledore is. But I'm actually expecting it a lot sooner, because we're getting so much information about number 2 right now. I feel like it may be only a week or two away, because we got Grindelwald. We know Dumbledore is actually, his name is brought up in the trailers. So he might actually already be in the film and we don't know it yet. But only time will tell. That's all we have today, folks, for all of our stories. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you want your friends to know about it. And as always, stay locked.